Alright, welcome back to another video. The video format what you're seeing now, it kinda sticky, but may I make use of what I have available and the resources I have. So just to make it work how it is. So today I'll be talking a little bit about me and my whole journey in photography. Who am I? The whole 9 yard. Yes, men are important, but I think there's no better way to continue than to explain what this channel will be about and who am I overall. So my name is Jelani Campbell. I am 23 years of age. I'm born and raised in Montego Bay, Jamaica, the place where everybody loves to vacate. Yeah, Jamaica. I've been doing photography for 2 years now, I think. Yeah. I got my first camera back in 2022, and ever since, I never stopped loving it. I just continued. Yeah, so that is pretty much about it. I'm a part time student, so yeah, so it's part time photography, part time student, still hunting a 9 to 5, but that part is irrelevant. All right, so the plan for the channel is I've been seeing this thing on YouTube and I really like it. um, Doing POV of when I'm doing a shoot. So I think that would be the plan behind the scenes, doing POVs, doing interviews. I think that is the interviews would be great. I have another one that I'm going to record. I have it in the works. That one I kind of have to um, plan a little bit more and have my questions a little bit more structured, because for this person he has a lot of history. I don't want it to be a run on or an interview without any set place that we're going, because I don't want it to be boring over time. So I'm working on that one, gathering my questions, putting them together so I can record and have that out to you. Hopefully by early February, because these interviews take time. The one I did with my grandmother took me around 2 weeks. Never, it didn't have to take me so long, but it took me around 2 weeks for edit, and I was new to color grading. That was my first mistake. I shot it in RAW. So I recorded video in so I could color grade it in a picture profile, and I knew nothing about color grading, and I had a using a new software first. May I use it? So it kind of take me some time. I had to watch a lot of YouTube videos, and it took me some time to the color grading aspect of it. But I might not do that this time around. I think I'm gonna leave the color grading to shorter form content. Like probably like reels and them stuff, TikToks. I'll do color grading for those, but not for longer for YouTube videos, because it kind of is challenging. And I have to watch the entire video if you go through. So I'm not gonna do that. So the plan for the channel, POVs and all of that. All right, let me get into it. So the first question I have here is, what inspired you to pursue photography and how did you get started? I can remember vividly in 2022, I was working at one of the biggest tourist destinations in the Caribbean. Well known, it's in the US as well. Famous rock star, singer, legend. He owns the franchise. I refrain from calling their name. I was working there and I saw. So, firstly, I have a Photoshop, first thing. So, I saw those guys and they were doing their thing. It never really interested me at that time, but then I started to see it on social media. And you know how algorithm works. You start watch something, the more you stay, the longer you stay on the video, the more they'll recommend similar videos to you. So then it started to take over my timeline, and then I got interested. I started YouTubing photography, started to watch videos, and then the next thing I know, this was like it was summer of 2022. So this was like in late June, early July. And then by mid July, I'm watching videos on the camera I should get, which camera I should get. I've never had a phone stage where I've always taken pictures on my phone. Anywhere I go, I take pictures, but I've never considered myself a photographer, any at all. So after watching a few videos, I then just find myself searching for a camera to purchase. And then I decided on one and got the Canon EOS 2000D, which is the European version of the Rebel T7, where everybody basically start with. Yeah, so I got one of that with a kit lens. I had that for a couple months, and then I got a 50mm and a 55 to 250. Yeah, so those were the three lenses I had for that camera. So yeah, that's how I got started in photography. Mind you, it was horrible in the start. I was looking back at some pictures the other day that I edited, and I really don't. I'm gonna plug one of them. I never really wanted to, but I'm gonna plug one of them just for reference. If I had a raw file for those images, I'd probably re-edit it and see the growth from then till now. But boy, I tell you, it was awful, horrible. Anyways, I don't want to go up on a rant here. So the next question: can you share a memorable experience as a photographer? The most memorable experience I would have, and it's really bad. It's a very bad experience. I wish that on no one. It was when I just got this camera, the Sony A7 III, which I'm recording on now. I had a wedding to do the last weekend in July of 2024. I ordered this camera a couple months. It took me some time to get because someone was taking it for me and their flights were cancelled about two times, and once the delivery missed, like the delivery delayed, and she had to come to Jamaica and I had to wait till she come. It was a lot of rigmarole. So when I got the camera, I never really known that much about it. I was watching videos before, but first hand experience it trumps all. So I got a camera and decided to say, hey, I'm gonna use this for the wedding. Whereas I got a Samyang 85 1.4 with that awesome bokeh. And I tell her it was say yeah, I have to use this for this wedding. And anyways, I went and I did the wedding. All was well. I prepared myself and it went well, except for when I was doing detailed shots. When after the reception and all, my flash trigger wasn't pairing with my flash, and I never knew what the reason was. I learned afterwards that it never the trigger wasn't mounted on the camera properly. Like I never put it all the way, so it never did fire, and so I never really got to use my flash. Only got like one or two shots out of it. But yeah, I decided to use this camera for the wedding. Did the wedding and all is well. I came home. I reached home probably like after 1 in the morning because this wedding was in St. Elizabeth. And mind you, I live in a Mobile. So when I left their reception and all in and this was in burial time because the place everywhere didn't have electricity. I remember now. So after burial, not all communities got electricity the same time from GPS. Some took longer. So the wedding was held in St. Elizabeth. I went there. I left St. Elizabeth like after 11 to come back home. And when I came home, I reached home like probably after 1, and I just went to bed. I look on my camera, check the pictures and videos on my camera, and I went to bed. I said, all right, cool. I said, in the morning, I go, do what I do. At this time, I was still working at the company I told you. So, and I had a different position at that time too. So I didn't move the images the night nor the next morning. I was preoccupied with work. I left and just go straight to work. When I came home in the night, I said, all right, I'm going to transfer images and start editing. So I decided, Sarah, boom, put Look on the pictures on my camera, and say, cool. I took out the SD card, I had a card reader, I put it in, I plugged it in my computer, and I started transferring, and then the card corrupted. So now all of the image is gone. Took it out, plug it back in. So the card corrupt, I have to wipe the card. I said, bah, stress out, stress out. People them say my parents saw me and be like, yo, what wrong with it? They don't know, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. I took the camera out, took the card out of the card reader, put it back in the camera, I can't see the images, them gone. At that time, I didn't switch my, because this camera has dual card slots. So I didn't use the duplicate mode that it has where when I shoot, it goes on both cards. I did not. Because as I say, I got the camera like a few days before the weekend. So I never really got the time to do all of that. Anyways, I was stressed. I don't know how to even tell the bride. Like a few days passed. I went, I think like 2 days passed, the Wednesday or the Thursday. I went to a friend and I went to vent and I said, yo boy, this is what happened to me and this is how I'm feeling, and I vent. And she said, boy, you know what you're gonna do? Probably if you just break it to them, tell them sooner than later, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell them. Anyways, before I came home the night and before I told them, I said, let me watch a YouTube video. I did watch a YouTube video and it gave me a few steps as to what to do. So I tried it and then I saw the images. So I got the images and I was like, damn, I was super excited. And I transferred the images to my computer. I transferred them back to two SD cards. I had a SSD, a solid state drive. I transferred the images on that as well, and I just transferred them all over the place because the the the, the experience was not nice. It was very traumatizing to think that I spent the entire day taking pictures and then I just lose them all in an instant for something that I was hired to do. So yeah, is my most memorable experience. I have another one, but I did talk about that at with one of my friends by Stacy, by Stacy B. So it's Stacy and yeah, so you can check that out whenever that video out whenever it's posted. I've talked about that experience. That one was surreal. But yeah, that is my most memorable experience. I lost all the images, but thank God I got them back. And I delivered my client gallery and it was a success. Um so next question, what equipment do you currently use and how has your gear evolved since you began? So I just spoke about two cameras that I've been through. I talked about the Canon EOS 2000D, which I started with, and I later got the 55 to 250 millimeter, which is a f4 to 5.6. It's a variable aperture lens, and a 50 millimeter f1.8 EF for my Canon EOS 2000D. But then I went through a stage of whatever. It has something to do with gear. I don't remember what it is, but it's you become more obsessed with the gear rather than with shooting. I went through that phase, and I got, which is a huge downgrade. I got a Canon EOS 70D. So I went to the local pawn shop and I saw it and I'd be like, yo, that would be good because it had the flip screen, so the variables, the flip screen. So that intrigued me and I got it. So I traded a 24 megapixel camera for a 20 megapixel camera, all for a flip screen. Stupid move. But anyways, I moved on to that. I still have that camera to this day, and I still have all my lens. I just traded bodies, and I kept my lens. I still have those. But now this year, well, last year, 2024, I got the Sony A7 III with a Samyang or Rokinon 85mm 1.4, and I have a Viltrox 20mm f2.8 as well. I have two prime lenses. So yeah, that's what I have. I have other stuff. I have a 8200 I have the mic that I'm using to record on is a Godox Magic. I think it is XT1S or something like that. What else do I have? Batteries, and I have Viltrox lights, and I have a lot of stuff. I've invested heavily in this craft. I just want to reap from my investment now, really and truly. But yeah, that's the gear I have. So my day-to-day gear is my Sony A7 III, working on f 85mm f1.4. That is my day-to-day go-to. I have a 20mm. I really use that for video. I don't really shoot with it that much unless I want wide shots, which I rarely do. I'm mostly geared towards, excuse me, I'm mostly geared towards portraits these days. So that's what I'm doing. So the next question is, what challenges have you faced in your photography journey and how have you overcome them? One of the biggest challenges I faced was putting myself out there, saying that I'm a photographer. It felt strange, it felt weird, something I never really do a lot because, it felt weird. I'm going to be honest. And I don't think I've never valued my work enough to say, oh, I've been on par. And I think the old saying that comparison is the thief of all joy is very true because I compared my work a lot to other photographers, and that is what kind of the reason why I never really tell people that I'm a photographer. But now I'm proud because my work is my work and it's art, and this is how I see, this is my vision. And if a person is going to book me or going to hire me as a photographer, they're going to want to do it based on my vision and what I have done and what the plans I have. So yes, that is one of the biggest challenges I faced. How I've overcome it. This is how I am overcoming it, by sitting in front of the camera and talking to it. And by extension, over time, it will become more face to face. I've started trying to tell each and every person that I interact with that I'm a photographer. You know, I try, not so successful, but I'm still trying, still trying to break out of that habit. So this is one way of me overcoming that challenge. The next question, can you describe your post-processing workflow and the tools you prefer? So I'm a part of the Adobe family. Um, Lightroom Classic, Photoshop. Those are the three softwares I use to edit. So the process, what it is like, all images or portraits or whatever I've done, I bring them into Lightroom Classic when I'm home. I do color adjustments, and then I will take them into Photoshop to do retouching on them stuff. That's what the process is like. If I'm on the road and I want images right away, I use my phone here and I transfer images to my phone and I use Lightroom mobile and I just transfer straight up. Yeah. So that is the post processing is like. For example, when I'm at church, when I go to church and I'll shoot for social media, I just bam, connect to the camera on my phone, transfer them, and I'll just do the adjustments. I'll add a preset and do some lighting correction, and then that's it for the post for church. And then when I do portraits, I'll take them home. Lightroom Classic for color correction, Photoshop for retouching. Yeah. Next question is, what advice would you give to others starting out in photography? Biggest advice, and everybody will agree, is to shoot. No matter what, if I want flowers, if it's a tree, if it's a dog, if it's a car passing, shoot. Shoot. Just always shoot. You cannot grow unless you're continuously working. So you shoot, always shooting, and then you'll see growth. I definitely saw growth in my journey. Shoot. The more time you spend in photography, shooting and editing, the more you'll learn. Also, you can also watch YouTube videos. It teach you a lot. It has definitely taught me a lot. Final question, he said, what are your future goals or projects you're excited about? So currently the future goal is to make this my number one source of income. I want to know that, hey, I'm going to shoot. I'm booked to shoot all day this week. I might need to hire an assistant. I need to hire a editor because I'm too backed up with work and I need to get it out there. Yes. Senicom. Too much work, never enough. Senicom. I want it. I'll do it. Senicom. Understand? So that is the future goal for me. Projects I'm excited about. Currently, I don't have any projects in the pipeline. Probably I've been thinking of doing something very soon. I've reached out to a model and she definitely told me I've give her some time down in this year. So I have time to make that project come to life. What will it be about? I cannot tell you as of now, but we're in the planning process and I'm definitely going to make it worthwhile. Yeah, definitely going to make it work too. So that's all the questions for today. In closing, photography is art. It's how you see, it's how you see life through the lens. Um, you know, get no clearer than that. Use your phone. Can't tell you. Some of our greatest memory. I saw this on a TikTok the other day that the greatest photographers are the high school students who are going through their day and they're snapping or they're taking pictures of friends or small videos of friends and day-to-day activities. Your grandmother who comes, barely knows how to use a phone, who comes to the Christmas dinner and be taking some blurry images which are sharp, and she just catch a cut off piece of your face. And these are the greatest photographers. Now, mind you, you have very skilled photographers who can do an editorial image and come shoot for a magazine and get perfect um, composition and the perfect lighting and the perfect edit and perfect this. But this doesn't make you a great photographer because your photography doesn't emulate life per se. It doesn't speak truth. It's something that is like a facade. It's put together. You created that out of nothing, whilst a true photographer creates an image out of life around him or her. And I found that to be profound. And I started doing self portraits in 2021, 2, 2022. So December of 2022 was the first time I have a portrait of myself. And I did one in 2023, and I will plug these images. And I did one in November of 2024 again. And then next year I'll do another one of myself. Probably, hopefully, I can get somebody to do it for me this time. But yeah, that is the plan. I think I want to do more self portraits. I really like to, and they're good. Yeah. So thanks for watching the video. I think that is it for today. See you in the next one.